Finally, there's a way that you can use AI to control your browser automatically without you even being there in the easiest possible way to set up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I was very stoked when I found this website called AirTop, and what it does is it lets you create a little mini bot that will open up a web browser, sort of like you can see here, a Chrome browser. It can be logged in by yourself once off, and then it keeps you logged in, and then it can go into whatever you're logged into and do stuff. So whether that's like a seller platform, whether you need to get information or download something, or whether you need to fill in a form, or whether you want to scrape stuff from LinkedIn. Here's some examples of what it does. You can draft meeting follow-ups, response to tweets. You can do flight alerts, things like that, scrape Instagram profiles. And what you do is you go into AirTop, and all you do is you say, hey, can you build me an agent that will sign into this and reply when you see that? And then what it does is it turns that voice prompt into a little piece of code, and you have an input, which can be like a schedule, and then you have an output, which is obviously what time the meeting was or what you scraped from Instagram or something like that. So I've done a very basic example today where I got it to go into WhatsApp web and get my last 5 unread messages and then send that to me. What I've done on top of that is I've just used make.com to schedule it, but this is not necessary because you can do everything with AirTop on its own. I'm just really excited how this connects to Make. If you're a Make geek like me already, this will get you really excited, and it's a big thing, but let's not dive too much into that now, because you can do everything I've done here. Send it to me in Slack, go to WhatsApp, get my last read message. You can do all of that without even leaving here. Voice commands only. You don't need to know anything. So how does it work? Right, so within your back end of AirTop, I've got this WhatsApp web messenger helper. If I open that up, you can just see a couple of things. These are all the scheduled runs. Just for context, this is costing me about 10 cents US each time it runs. I think to build it was about 1,000 credits, and when you sign up, I think you get 10,000 free credits. So I haven't paid anything for this yet, which is pretty cool. But I can definitely see myself paying for this service. Okay, so when you build it, all you need to do is say, can you sign into WhatsApp web, get my last 5 unread messages, so I can send that to myself as a reminder to follow up with these people. Maybe I can say, I want to know who the sender is, the last message, and the number of days since that last message. And you can be as specific and as detailed as you want here. Obviously, the more detailed you are, the less steps it's going to take to process it. But when I run this, I'll show you exactly what's going to happen. Let's give it a minute. Okay, so this is important. You're giving the agent AirTop permission to navigate the web on your behalf. Yes, go. This is the cool part, is like it's navigating on your behalf, and you're able to store these logged in sessions in the cloud. So for those that are a little bit more technical, I've done videos previously using Manus's browser agent, which would do exactly the same as this, except, let me just give it a bit more instruction. Can you go to whatsapp.com and I will sign you in WhatsApp web. So I've used Manus browser agent in the past, and that is when it does exactly like this, but it just pops open a agent in your browser. Kind of like it would look like this, but the downside of that is you need your browser to be open, you need your computer to be open, and the benefits of using AirTop is it stores that browser in the cloud. It lets you access it, it lets you view it when you want to view it, but ultimately it can be day or night, it can go in, it can log in, it can get these weird things, the unautomatable things that you can't find any other way. It can get them and it can send it back to you on Slack, or you can use Make to send it to another service, or literally any service, Telegram, WhatsApp. You can get it to send it to another form, anything. So it's kind of taking a lot of possibility that was never possible before and letting you automate it. It's very exciting. And then another thing is that, obviously I do a lot of finance automations. So you would be able to go into QuickBooks or Xero or any of your accounting tools and have it fetch things every day, every hour. And if you have issues with it signing out, you can schedule this to run every 60 minutes. So keep that session open long enough that it never signs you out, because most of them will only sign you out if it sees you're idle for more than 60 minutes or something like that. So very, very cool. And it really solves a lot of those problems where people are using browser automations, but it's logging them out. And it's making you have to go in and re-log in. And then the other downside is some of them don't give you the like detailed replay history. For AirTop, I've seen you can watch a whole video of the process that the agent took when it was logging in, what it did, which is immensely helpful. Okay, so back to it. So as you can see here on the screen, this is the browser, right? Agent browser, it's giving you a QR code. This is when I would scan it. It would open up my messages. I've done all of this already in a separate agent. So I'm gonna skip this long setup, but I'm gonna skip sharing all my WhatsApp messages with you guys. And what you would do is you sign it in. It would basically finish it. It said, then you deploy it. When you're happy with the results, it'll keep giving you examples and examples of it. And you can just chat with it till it's right. And then when it's finished, I'm going to leave that. It's going to look a little bit like this. Here's your past runs. You can connect it to make.com. Just put in your API key, connects, run the agent. You can make changes to the agent. I did have to do 2 changes after I deployed it. That's why it's version 3, which is fine. They were like super minor. I just wanted to add a few like text configurations. And then at any point you can come in and just run it manually. And if you want to send it to yourself on Slack, just come into integrations. You can connect Google Sheets, Airtable, Slack. This is what you would use. I used the Make component, but you would just connect Slack over here, tell it to send you this thing on Slack, or it can email you, or it can email your boss, or it can email anyone. And yeah, super powerful. And then this WhatsApp automation as well, I've just got it fetching your last unread messages, right? So this is quite a broad like example of what you could do with it. It's probably not even touching the tip of the iceberg of how powerful it could be. So if any of you have tried to automate WhatsApp, it's extremely difficult. You have to go get into Meta, you have to get your business verified, a whole bunch of stuff. Then you have to use a third-party tool to read those messages. So this could be an easy way to just say like, check for messages, send them a default reply. Check for messages, interpret the message, send them a reply based on our latest calendar. So go to a Google Calendar, check what appointment we can give this guy. So you almost can create like an interaction of that. Or at the end of the day, send all my unread messages to my PA. So that they can reply to them or stall, or take all the messages, scan for anything that's like urgent, and send me a text message so that pops up on top and I don't miss it. All these problems that businesses face that would be previously very difficult to automate without hiring someone like me. You're able to do it on your own now. To be honest, isn't always even possible. So yes, WhatsApp has an API, but a lot of the accounting tools, if you just want to go in and trigger the accounting system to fetch your latest bank statements so that it has all of that data so you can allocate it and whatnot, if you wanted it to do that, you have to go in and manually click that button. There's no API or something. You have to use either a human, either an outsourced worker, or you have to build an agent using something like AirTop to go in and do that. I've digressed and ranted a few times. Let me actually show you what this does. I'm going to run it. Yes, it does take a moment because it's got it now in the background. It's going into WhatsApp web. It's opening up a browser. It's finding there's like a little unread message when you go into WhatsApp web. And I'll show you the video afterwards. It's going into WhatsApp web. It's going to click on unread. It's going to start getting the last 5 messages. And then what Make is doing is Make is a automation tool that lets you connect loads of apps together, and you can throw in AI and stuff like that. And basically I'm just taking the output, which we'll see in a second. I'm iterating it because there's 5 different messages, and then I'm text aggregating, which just means I'm taking each line of the message and I'm putting the details like sender name, then I insert sender name, the message, and then I put message. So it's just putting it into a format that's like a little bit nicer to read, and then it's just going to get sent to me on Slack. So here I am in Slack at 8:41. This just came through now. I have a message here. Some of the messages I may have just blurred out. And that basically would be the summary. So I can see here, this one I haven't replied to in 5 days. I should probably get back to that. And yeah, there's some that maybe aren't so important. So as you can see, it's immensely powerful. It works. This could have been done without using Make, just as a reminder for like the 3rd time. But for me, I'm thinking of the bigger picture with this, where I want to send that to multiple different people. I want it to trigger maybe another automation. Like if there's a message on here, go to my CRM, then pull that customer information, do stuff like that, where AirTop doesn't have that integration. That kind of is the reason for Make. Okay, and then just for context, this is how I'm in the history of the run. You can see this is 8:41. It loads WhatsApp. I'm going to leave it on here. You would be able to play back the video. I don't want to have my editor blur out all the different messages I've got in there. So basically it's going to go through, it opens up, sends it to me, and you're able to come see every step of the way what happened. You can load more information. All of this is saved in code. If that's necessary for you to look at. I didn't look at this once, but it is kind of cool that it's got it there. And then, like I said, if you have any issues or changes you want to make, just type it in here. It takes you back to that original thing and makes the tweaks. So this is a very, very powerful tool. I think it's definitely the future of automation in a sense. Taking these things that you do as a normal person, explaining it in natural language, having an agent do it, having it being done for you, that's huge. That's going to take up a huge portion of the automation world. There's still going to be guys like me who are going to come in and do the advanced automations where we take that information and we maybe make it more usable for like an enterprise customer or a big business where they're just a little bit worried that something like this might have a consequential effect if it hallucinates or something like that, or you need to send it to different places that aren't just connected already within something like AirTop. I also think that ChatGPT has that agent mode. I think they're very close to releasing a tool where this is basically, they do exactly this. Agent mode works well, but you have to open up ChatGPT and you can give it some instructions. You have to re-log in every time. Browser operator with Manus, I think, is the second best because it uses your native browser, but it still might not have you logged in. Whereas something like this, if it was a tool that's signing me out, I'd schedule it for every 20 minutes just to go in and do something to keep me logged in. And then once a day I can run whatever I wanted to run. So guys, I hope this makes sense. It was a bit of a long-winded video today, I'll admit. But the concept of this I feel is very, very powerful, especially if you're in finance, if you're in automation, marketing. I think this as a concept, this as a specific tool is very powerful, and hopefully it will bring you guys some benefit. So guys, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in another one.